Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. So I asked you last week in the video about the project, one of the two projects I have planned for this week, depending on which one works. And I said, what do you think it is? Well, Chris actually got it right. He nailed it. Remember this live edge bowl? I wanted to make it into firewood because nasty crack goes all the way down into my tenon, which scared me as a new wood turner. I didn't want it to explode, obviously. And so I just kind of set it on the kitchen counter in there and left it go, along with one that I turned it too thin and it cracked. And someone else actually took that one. They said, "You're not throwing that away." Somebody, I think in the comments, suggested, "Hey, you could do this, you could do that." One of you said, I don't remember who it was, one of you said, "Why don't you fill it with epoxy?" I've never worked with epoxy before. I, to be honest with you, always thought that epoxy was incredibly expensive, and therefore I had no designs of ever dabbling in epoxy. Plus, I don't make river tables, and I'm not a big fan of river tables, and that's what I equate epoxy to. But whilst perusing Amazon the other night, I decided to look up epoxy resin and see what it costs. It's actually a lot cheaper than what I thought. I bought the cheapest one on Amazon. Have the instructions manual. The brand is Paduo, P-U-D-U-O, Paduo. The instructions are written in good English, not like English from across, in the sushi plantation over there. This one actually is written by somebody in America. So step one, find a well-ventilated area to set up your resin pour. Lay down plastic drop cloth. Area should be dust free. Sure. Oh, well, this is going to change things. There is a minimum temperature of 65 degrees that needs to be present when you're pouring this. Okay, so that's going to count this little area out in all of its dust-free surgical state. So that's the first one. I've read through these. Seems pretty cut and dry. Seems pretty simple. The hardest part is it says figure out how much you need. I have no idea. What I do know is that I tried to glue this together and I need to get all of that glue out, and I need to pick through here, clean this crack up as much as possible. Now, I mean, up here, I'm cutting most of that out because it's going to be a bowl, but I want it to pour through all the way. So I want to clean this out, make sure the epoxy is going to go where it needs to go. And so to do that, I just need to start cleaning up. I have to find something that'll get in there, I suppose. The old Harbor Freight pick kit should do it. Let's try this one. Okay, I had to come inside where it's above 65 degrees. Let's take a look at what we're working with here. This is the epoxy that I bought. It's 2 bottles of 36 ounces. One is a hardener, one is the resin. I chose this because it's a 1-to-1. Math, no worries, okay? One of these, mix them together, boom, chakalaka, you got epoxy. It comes with, I think, 4 of the mixing cups and 4 of the larger mixing cups. It comes with pumpy pumps. It comes with gloves, but because I've got big sausage fingers on bear mitts, I'm going to use my own. It comes with an apron. I'm starting to worry now. Okay. Anyway, check the price. This was $36.99. Okay. When it's all mixed, which you don't mix it all at once, but when it's all mixed, you'll have 72 ounces of mixing ability. Okay. Which to me seemed like a lot. Okay. I read the instructions. I didn't read the cleanup instructions. I don't know if once I get a pump in this thing, if I just leave it in there the whole time. Do I take the pump out? How do you clean? I have no idea. We'll get to that. The epoxy dye that I bought, mica powder. Hope you can see that. Mica powder. This is made by, or sold by, oh my word, Chang Tajiki. Chang Takija. I don't know. Tikeji. Takijai. I don't know. You can probably guess where that's from. What I've gone ahead and done is the person that I watched do it used a very specific kind of tape. It was red. It was tucked, like Tuckkt tucked tape or something like that. I used, packing tape, clear packing tape, because it's what I got, and we're packing. So this box has nothing to do with it except that it's going to hold this in the position that I want it held. Excuse me. As I said, this crack goes all the way through to that crack. So I've taped this, okay? I've taped this part. I'm going to set it in there, and I'm going to pour in from the top. And hopefully that's going to fill that whole void. Excuse me. So what I need to do is start mixing. First impressions. It's really a lot thicker than I thought it would be. Equally as thick. Put the cap back on that. I don't know what the working time of this stuff is because it's got a working time. These are just red Solo cups because. So I'm going to pour this and this in here. Mix, it says. Wow, there's really just not that much in there. I really thought that was going to be a lot more than that. It says to mix for 45 minutes or something. That's a lie. It doesn't say that. Don't do that. I really think I need more than that. Let's go with that. Now, I'm going with the cobalt blue. Gives you a nice little spoon. I have no idea how much to put in, so we're going to go with a spoonful. We'll see what that does for me. Oh boy. Oh. Okay, it's blue. Ain't no doubt about that. Boy, it's gonna be gorgeous if this works. Holy macanoli. It says to make sure you scrape the bottom as you're doing this. We're gonna get this as straight as possible. We might need this later. Okay, I got everything poured. It's actually Sunday evening. That clock's wrong. Daylight savings time. Why do we still do that? Who knows? Anyway, some things real quick that I learned. The epoxy was a lot thicker than I expected it to be. I don't know if it's all like that or not, but I basically, how'd I do it? I poured it in here, and it filled most of this crack, but then after it dried, this had sunk quite a bit, and so I had to refill that, and then I had to flip it back over after that dried, refill this. So it was a 3-day project just to fill this. And I think I got it. This still sank a 1/16 of an inch. So I'm going to have to turn the outside of this again. Other things I learned is it's messy, very messy. I know it doesn't have to be, but it is. What I did was took a hot glue gun the second time and made a wall, so to speak, and filled it so it didn't go everywhere. And I did the same with this, but it ran everywhere. So what I'm going to do is hopefully I'm going to chuck it here on my 4-jaw, turn it and make sure that that's in the center. And I'm going to take it back off and put a faceplate on here so that I can then turn it this way, get this all cleaned up. And there's some issues back here originally when I turned this with my tenon that I don't like. I want to fix that. Anyway, enough of that talk. Let's just go ahead and, I guess, get this started. I'm going to try and find a camera angle for you. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Okay, folks, there you go. Finished product. First time with epoxy. Not a giant pour, but it saved the bowl and had a little accent to it at the same time. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. More importantly, wifey poo's really happy with the way it turned out. It's actually her birthday gift. I'm glad that I looked into epoxy and priced it, and because I have other blanks that I know are cracked, and I didn't turn them. Now I have a way to save them. I love the bark. I don't know if it's showing up or not, but this side is higher than that side. Plus, even the wood itself has some really cool features to it. So it's just an all-around good looking bowl. And that one's for my wife. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. God bless.